If you've ever wanted to do a sport that combines great physical exercise, unleashes your creativity, and a ton of fun, skateboarding is right for you. Today we're going to teach you a couple basics of skateboarding, a few historical facts, and how to improve your skateboarding and get better. Get ready. Get big.
Or go home.
So, there's a couple steps in an alley. First, you want to get your feet in a solid position, your front foot about an inch below the bolts at the top of the board, and your back foot hanging off the tail a little bit to get your leverage. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to pop, which means you're going to push down really hard on the back with your back foot. And then, when you hear like a snapping noise, like this, you're going to take your front foot and slide it up and jump at the same time. And that'll give you the leverage to make the board jump into the air. Once you're in the air, you're going to level out with the board and try and keep your feet over the bolts. Then push down once you've reached your height to land cleanly. Those are the main steps in an ollie. So, as you noticed before, the first step is going to be the pop. Next, you're going to slide your front foot up and jump. Carefully watch as, in the air, my back foot will move from being on the tail from the pop, and it'll slide up to land on the bolts, where you eventually want your front foot to come back to as well, so you land cleanly and don't fall. So you're going to start with your back foot out and your front foot in the middle.
Skate fact! There are two stances in skateboarding. Skateboarding has two stances which are either goofy or regular. Regular means that your right foot is on the back and your left foot is on the front. If you're a goofy, it is the complete opposite, which means your left foot is on the back, right here, and your right foot is on the front. You have just been shown a skate fact. Much like the ollie, the kickflip has many steps to it. The only difference between an ollie and a kickflip is that your front foot, when you slide it forward, isn't just going to slide normal like an ollie would, straight up. It's going to slide out to the side, to the outside of the bolts, and then to the concave right here on the board, on the front of the board. Then what this is going to do is it's going to apply pressure, and it'll make the board flip. Also, like the ollie though, you're going to want, when you pop the board, you're going to want to move your back foot back to the bolts when you're ready to land. Except this time, you want, when you're kick flipping, you want to watch the board spin, and as soon as you see the black grip tape, you want to put your back foot onto the bolts and slam down. So when you put it all together, it's a pop, kick out to the side, and jump. And then initiate the catch as soon as you see the black grip tape. Just like this.
Skate fact! Skateboards have a lot of different parts. and they've evolved over time. This is an example of a modern skateboard. This is an example of a skateboard from the 70s. As you can see, there are a couple major differences, such as the lack of grip tape. On this skateboard, it's just a plastic thing all the way through with no specific grip to it. I can slide my hand easily across without any issue. On a modern day skateboard, you apply grip tape, which is like sandpaper, and it's a lot rougher and harder. You will cut your hand if you slide it across. Also, modern day grip tape wears the treads off your shoes. This pair is relatively new, but you can see right there where it's starting to go, and that's a better example. Also, older skateboards are made of plastic, as you can see, and the trucks, or the axles, are much, much smaller. In a modern day skateboard, it's made of 7 plies of plywood with the grain going opposite ways for maximum strength, and the wood is Canadian maple. Also, the trucks are wider, which give it more support. Skateboards today also have a concave at the front and at the back, which allow you to pop and get better propulsion because of physics. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. The older boards don't have that. As you can see, it's just flat. This is the end of your skate fact. Pop shove-its are another common trick in skateboarding. They're much like the kickflip, except instead of kicking in, you push out. You do the same concept with your toe as you would with the kickflip, where you go off the side. You just go off the front. And the pop is slightly different. You take your back foot and you push sideways to get a slight rotation on the board. It'll look something like that when you pop. So instead of going straight up like that, the board will go sideways, as you can see. And then with your front foot, instead of going up like you would on an ollie, when you pop it sideways, then you'll take your foot and you'll go off the side like that. And that'll achieve the spin. Then almost as soon as you see the board level out, you want to take both of your feet and stomp down as hard as you can. So when you see the top coming level, you'll take your feet and you'll just stomp them like that.
Like Pierce said before, the proper way to do a pop shove it is to scoop right here. You want to put your feet just like an ollie, except your back foot isn't going to be quite as much on the tail. Your back foot isn't going to be quite as much on the tail as it would be for an ollie, because you don't really need as much pop. It's more of a scooping motion. So like the kickflip, when on your front foot, when you push all the way out into the concave on the front, there's another concave identical to it on the back where you're going to put your back foot for a pop shove it, so you can really get a good scooping motion. And then this foot, like the kickflip, you want it to get out of the way, but you don't want to flick with the board. You just want it to not really come in contact. So people do it in many different ways, but a preferable way is to just put it anywhere where you can get it out of the way of the board. Always wear shoes. Barefoot skateboarding can be very painful. So the first motion, the scoop, then the front foot getting away. Then when it rotates, like Pierce said, you want to come back down with your front foot and catch it. Unlike the kickflip when you catch it with your back foot. because your front foot is going to be able to hover just above the board the whole time. While skateboarding, make sure you wear a helmet so you don't get hurt, like this. A proper helmet will stay snug on your head and it'll buckle at the bottom so it doesn't move around as much. This will prevent you from getting head injuries and it'll help you be more confident, so always wear a helmet.
From the many tricks you've learned today, you'll eventually want to take them from flat ground to stairs and ledges. How you do this is not even so much about changing the way you execute the trick, but it's about your mental state as you go in. If you go in scared that you're going to get hurt or break your leg, you're not going to be able to land it. You have to be confident that you are stronger than the stairs and they'll do what you want and you'll be able to land your tricks all the time.
Hopefully now you know a lot more about skateboarding, including the history and how to do 3 new basic tricks. Thank you.
Don't